What is up, besties? It is your host, Zoe, and I'm back with another motherfucking episode on the Dare Overshare podcast today. And I hope you guys are doing good today. And, new vibes. I'm starting out this episode with a card. What are the vibes for this episode? What are. Okay, y'all. We got the Wheel of Fortune and we got the Eight of Pentacles. Great episode. Great episode. Yeah, I can see how this. Yeah. All right. And that makes so much sense for today's episode, right? So much sense. Because what is today's episode? Today's episode is, if I can get there, sometimes attention seeking is a cry for help. Yes, and we're also going to be talking about victim mentality and, how all of that relates as someone who dealt with it her entire life. Period. And the reason I wanted to talk about this in an episode is because I was this person throughout all of high school, dare I say. And inherently, it's not from a bad place, right? Attention seeking all the time isn't inherently bad. A lot of people just want to be heard, really, and that's all why we're here. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with the meaning, and I got this from a Substack I was reading called The Writing Spree, where I really liked how they defined the victim mentality and all of that. So what they said was the victim mentality is a mindset or psychological pattern in which individuals consistently perceive themselves as powerless and wronged by others of their circumstances, even when evidence suggests otherwise. This perspective often stems from a past negative experience or trauma or a learned behavior from childhood. It is characterized by an external locus of control, believing that life outcomes are determined by outside forces rather than personal actions, and a tendency to blame others, avoiding responsibility and seeking sympathy and or pity. Right? That's how they defined it. And in most parts, I can fully agree with that. Because we all know what it looks like, and I feel like we've all seen maybe someone in this instance. And I think okay, so yes, like I said, I did this throughout all of high school. I was that person who I trauma dumped on any and everybody that would listen. I would be that person who would say it at the most awkward time. And it's just like, why? Right? Now as an adult, I'm kind of like, shut the fuck. Like, genuinely, I wish I could go back to her and just, but she was hurt. Can I blame her? In retrospect, I think about it and I'm like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have, shared all my business and or, just kind of put myself in that position so many times to maybe be labeled as an attention seeker or be labeled as someone who wants help and a victim so badly. No, I carried so much pain with me. I think my part was I wanted someone to see. I wanted someone to hear me because no one ever did hear me. No one, like, in my life, the reason I think why I acted like that is because the people who were supposed to care about me knew everything and didn't care, right? So I would always try to be around external forces or people that I knew or anything, and I'll be like, okay, well, they care about me, right? So, like, is anybody gonna care? Nobody give a fuck, right? But nobody has to. Nobody has to, right? And I also had to grow up to figure that out. But if you acknowledge that you are maybe in this part of your life right now or you have developed it, I really want you to know it is so important to unlearn it. It is so important just because of the stagnancy it can cause in your life. If you speaking of, like that definition said, the external locus of control. Funny enough, I'm actually learning this in a marketing class right now, and all of this shit. And I scored I scored 2% more on the external locus of control more than internal, but I was still very heavily both. Meaning, external locus of control is we view the world as attacking us, right? Maybe not attacking, but it's wronged us. So when situations happen, It's more of so, oh, the reason I didn't get this is because of this person or that person or of this reason or this. Whereas the internal locus is, okay, this didn't happen because I didn't put enough work in, because something I did, or, something like that. So I always had that external locus. And if you carry that external view into your adulthood, you will be insufferable to yourself and to everyone around you. And healing, like I said, becomes stagnant at a point because we cannot view the world as coming at us full force and we have no power over it. Life is just fucking us, right? We need to do the fucking, okay? And that's what I tell Michi. And I know that sounds very vulgar and very weird, right? But I think of it, I'm not letting the world fuck me. I will fuck the world first. Like, I'm not in the mood for these games. Can I tell y'all what Michi just texted me? He said, "You go, girl. I hear you, baby. Keep preaching." I love him. He's in the bath, bro. Okay. So yes, you need to stop carrying life with an external view. And I carried that throughout, I think, a lot of my life, just because I carried so much pain from everything. In my head, it was not an excuse, but it was a reason. If I ever acted any way out of turn, it was because of this. If I was ever too emotional, because everybody always, I am a crybaby. I am. I know this. But I'm always too emotional. And in my head, okay, well, here's justification. Here's why. Here is why. And it's one of them things, like the main reason I started this podcast, did I overshare? I always was putting myself in situations where I was oversharing, but I think for so long I would always just kind of be disgusted with myself rather than understanding where that came from. Zoe, why are you feeling like this? Why do you want people to hear you so badly? Because you were never heard, because you feel like your feelings do not matter, because you feel abandoned emotionally, right? And it's just something you have to heal from and try to, not, let me not say unlearn, because it is so inherent within all of us, because it's just how life affects us and what happens in life, and we can't rid that, right? But we can learn how to live with it and not make it our entire personality. I made my trauma my entire personality, okay? Literally. And God, I probably was insufferable to all these people, probably, but I was just hurt. That really is all it was. And I know so many people are in that exact same position, whether it be something so small, right? Whether it be something so small, you're just hurt. You're just hurt. But we have to navigate that hurt in more healthy ways rather than yappity 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 yappity, because that's what I love to do, right? And I think I was talking to my friend about the other day. She had called me and she was ranting about a situation with her old friend that she wasn't even that close with, but it was still a situation where she felt some type of way, like, and a friendship ended. And, I'm gonna be honest. It might seem like it came off a little rude, but for me, I have seen her continue these patterns my entire life. I've been friends with her since third grade. I have watched her continue these patterns. And as how much I love her, I told her I will not watch them no more. I won't. So I'm going to call you out on it. So I let her sit there and rant to me. I let her call me and, have that space. But once she had that space, I said, "Are you done? Are you? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. Nobody. Get over it." And like, I hate to say it because most things are not get over it, right? Because a lot of shit is really, really fucked. But in a sense, we have to kind of get an acceptance in a way. And okay, her situation was completely different from, like, let's say what I have been through. This was just like a friend to friend, fallout and shit that happened. But my sense of asking her, "Are you done?" was, okay, did you get it off your chest? Did you get that ranting off your chest? Because it feels good. We want to, let that anger spew. And I let her do that. But you're only going to do it for so long, because we can't sit on this, because that's when we get in that mindset of where we're going to want to keep talking about it and keep telling people, "Oh my gosh, look what happened to me. Look what this person did to me," if we don't get over it. So I asked her when she, like, while she was ranting, after she paused for a moment, "Are you done? Are you done?" Okay, thank you. Now, what are you going to do? Because in my head, I'm telling her, I'm like, first of all, she's not that good of a friend. You didn't like, you liked her, but you already had past situations where you told me there was already something rocky. So it's like this huge thing. You're more so irritated that she hurt you. It was your respect that was affected. She disrespected you. That's why you're upset. It's not, anything bigger than that. So I was telling her, don't linger on that. Don't let that sit with you, because in her situation, she tends to do that. That is a big thing, and she will let it consume her entire life the same way I did with my trauma. I let it consume my entire life, and that's because after I ranted, I just kept ranting. I just kept ranting. It never was enough. That validation was never enough for me. Like, I just felt like I just still had all these emotions. Like, I still felt wronged. Like, is anybody gonna fix it? No, they can't. Nobody can fix a lot of the shit that happened in the past, right? But we can choose whether we focus on it or not and make it part of our day-to-day life. If you know, like, I know I've watched these things consume her. I don't want that to consume you, because it's not that, this should not be consuming you. Feel it. Sit with it. If it hurts, let it hurt. Let it fucking hurt and go through the hell. But stand back up. Ask yourself, are you done? Because I had to stop pitying myself, because I told her, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody. You could beg people for fucking help. There's people that are homeless with nothing to fucking eat on the street asking for people for help every day, and they don't help them. Nobody is coming to save you. Save yourself. Truly save yourself. And that's what I was trying to tell her. Do not let this consume you. It is not big enough to consume you. Really, nothing is. But if it needs to consume you for a day, let it be. Let it be. If you need a rant, let it be. I don't care if it's so small. Rant. Do what you need to do, but get over it. Don't linger on it and be telling this situation 10 years down the line. She done had 10 kids and she lives in a whole different state, and you're still talking about this little fallout. And that's when I started to view myself. Granted, some of the situations I'm speaking about are really like different in that sense. So it's like, no, I cannot get over that, right? But I can get over the sense where I'm like feeling bad for myself. No, I'm not going to feel bad for myself. I'm going to try to empower myself from this actually now, right? Because I felt bad for myself too long and it did no good. No freaking good. And this causes blame and avoidance of responsibility a lot of the times, and it holds other people accountable for, our own misfortunes. A lot of things that happen like this, it can be helplessness, powerlessness, anxiety, so many different things. It can be learned behavior from family members, self-confidence, negative mindset. It truly can be anything, but you cannot let it linger. You cannot let it linger, because then you do become that person. You do become that annoying person who just, because nobody's going to care about you. Like, you could sit here and say the most crazy things, but you're really honestly probably just going to get a look. Like, is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? Save yourself. Save yourself. And I'm not trying to be harsh, because nobody asked for their pain. I didn't ask for mine. You didn't ask for yours. Nobody asked for it. But we all have to live with it, right? And no, it's not fair. None of it's fair. It's not fair that we go through bad things in life. It's not. But that's life, right? And are you just going to sit there and be like, oh, well, everything sucks. Everything went bad. Life is so unfair. Or are you going to get up and do something about it? Or are you just going to sit on it and like linger for so long? You cannot linger. You cannot. Express yourself, feel it, get over it, move on. As shitty as it is, you have to move on in a way. And okay, when we let's go down to the serious things about shit that, physically, trauma-wise, you cannot get over, right? It was traumatic. No. But mentally, I want you to tell yourself, rather than trying to get that pity from other people, rather than wanting people to feel bad for you, feel bad for yourself. Hey, I didn't deserve that. I deserve way better. How can I do that? My body didn't deserve that. How can I treat her today? How can I heal myself? How can I help this current situation rather than make it worse? Because majority of the time we're making it worse. That that lingering, it makes it worse. Those negative thoughts, they make it worse. Because also a lot of the times when situations like this happen, when we think about them too much, we end up making it our fault. Let's say let's say somebody else completely wronged you, right? If you sit on it for long enough, you will turn it on yourself. Well, I mean, did I do something to make them wrong me? Well, like, blah, blah, blah. Stop lingering. Stop. Feel it. Let it go. Let it go. And we all carry our pain unconsciously daily. Daily. Nobody knows. Right? There's people like me who wanted to tell everybody about it, and then there's other people who are completely silent about it and you would never know. Never know. That doesn't take the weight of the pain from anybody, and that doesn't make anybody's situation any more worse, better, anything. They are both still in pain. Now, how they cope, two different ways. Two different ways. Right? Right. Being the victim feels good. Having that attention feels good because we can't lie. Inherently, as humans, we are attention whores. Like, majority of us, like, the pity really does feel good. Being right feels good. Being able to point a finger and be like, they hurt me, they did me wrong. I can finally point a finger. I can finally, prove something right or anything. That makes us feel good. We feel high. We feel high when other people start agreeing and they're like, oh, I knew she was evil. Like, I knew this. Why? It feels good. It feels good to be the victim. It feels good to get that attention, to have people feel bad for you. It feels good to put the blame on someone else. It feels good to have proof that someone hurt you, that they did you wrong, or that they really are a shitty person and you were right all along. It feels good. That's why we do it. So also don't beat yourself up about that. You are human. You are going to make mistakes. And also, this is a whole side tangent. That's also something I've been thinking about recently. I'm only 21. I'm going to make a plethora of mistakes, right? I cannot sit here for years and beat myself up about it because in the past, I didn't linger for a week. I lingered for years. And I still catch myself doing that when I think about past things that I messed up on. It consumes me. It consumes me. You're going to make mistakes. No matter how old you are going to make mistakes. This is your first life. Live and learn. But you need to learn. There has to be some learning along the way. Right. Remember, okay, this is a really old episode. Literally, like when I first started the podcast, like 3 years ago. It was about perspective and how we choose our perspective on life because we do. You choose your perspective on life. When it comes to your trauma, how you show it, how you feel it. When it comes to your pain, how you show it and how you feel it. Try to view it in a lens, kind of like you're a third party, kind of. Take a step back from a lot of situations and view them from a different angle and view what you're doing wrong. As much as we want to point out what the other person's doing wrong and all the faults they have done, what are you doing wrong? Hey, am I processing this, not the best? Am I going about this in not the best way? Am I communicating this in not the best way? Sit on it. Think about it. Because I always will say this. It's okay to be the bad guy. It is perfectly, like I said, we make mistakes. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be the friend that hurt somebody else. As long as you learn. As long as you learn. Because I will never sit up here and say I'm a perfect person. There's people I've hurt in my past. There are actions I have done in my past. There are friends I have hurt. There's things I wish I didn't do. And I've learned from them. I don't linger on my mistakes and what I've done. I learned from them. So it's like we can go through all this change and all this pain, but if we hold on to it and let it sit with us and consume us and eat us alive and become us, I wasn't Zoe who was this out person. I was Zoe, this trauma-filled person. All people knew was my trauma. That's all they knew. They might have knew, like a lot of people, like they knew other things, like I was friends, like y'all was fool. But what did I make my personality? That. And then I did it always in a fucked up light. It was never, I feel like a lot of times when we come from situations, we don't sit with them before we talk to other people about them. And that is also something I had to teach myself. When I feel something so heavily, I need to sit with it within myself, right? Because I know I don't have the best emotional regulation. Not everybody does. Most people don't have good emotional regulation. So if somebody wrongs me and does me dirtball, hell yeah, I feel some type of way about it. Hell yeah. Am I gonna sit here? I could sit here immediately off rip, and I have done this. I have done this off rip. I'm still heated, so everybody's about to know. Everybody's about to know what you did, bitch. Everybody. I'm taking it to hell. I'm taking it to hell. And I'm gonna say this as your favorite podcast host. Sometimes you need to take it to hell. Some people you need to take it to hell with. You know, the last time I took it to hell, I took it to hell, and she can go to hell, and I don't care. In any other situation, sometimes you need to take it to hell. Sometimes take it to hell. And that's me letting you know this. As someone who's healed, a healed person knows when to take it to hell. Okay? That was a side tangent. But some things, you just talk to yourself first. Because really, it's not that fucking deep. Oh my gosh. We are very emotional as humans. We get so worked up about the littlest things. And a lot of it is really just miscommunication. A lot of the times the other person didn't mean to hurt you. And that's really how I view things now. Like, I've had some issues going on, and I've just had to step back before I approach them, and I view them, okay, is this person moving with malicious intent? Or is this something they're unconsciously doing and it's bothering me, and I can have this talk with them rather than letting these emotions just overflow because I'm so upset about what they said or what they did and just exploding or telling everybody or talking or doing 20 other things. Sit with your feelings. Sit with them. But also know you're not a being attention seeker is not always a bad thing. We will all go through points in our lives where we just want to be heard. That's not a bad thing to want to be heard because you deserve to be heard. You deserve to have people listen to you. You deserve to have understanding and to feel you what is the word? Like not replenished, rejuvenated more so about the situation. You want somebody to agree with you. Hey, that was shitty and you didn't deserve that. Right? We all want that. And I think once you are able to navigate these conversations and these situations with concise and pure intent and words and true like meaning from the heart, then we'll be able to hit a point where we can have those conversations where people aren't looking at you crazy. They're talking back and they're like, "Damn, that was fucked up. What did you learn from it? How did it make you into who you are today?" You can have those deep inquisitive talks and learn more about other people rather than the whole conversation being full of negativity and being like, "Oh, fuck that bitch. I hate her. She just did me dirtball." And the other person be like, "Damn, fuck that bitch. Okay, cool. She's gone." That's way less meaningful, way less impactful, and it's not good at all. It's not doing nobody no good at all. Nothing got solved at the end of the day. Now, communicating effectively, we address the root, the problem, the emotions. You get your validation, even if it's from yourself, from that, like, sitting with yourself and figuring out those emotions. You can get that validation from yourself or sitting down and talking to somebody else with a clear mind, not full of rage, not full of sadness, not full of hurt. Show up present. And if you can't, sit with yourself and be a mess first. Be a mess first. And make mistakes. I think for so long, up until I made this episode, I think I was just embarrassed for the people that knew me in high school. Like I just more so just felt icky about it. Like, ugh, I just wish I shut the fuck up. Like like it just irritated me, and like I was just so. I just was a hater to myself. Like I genuinely just despised myself and regretted the way I moved in every single area. And now, think about it, I deserve grace. I was just hurt. I was just hurt. Yeah, I could have. I was 16, 15, 16, 14, however the fuck old. I was hurt. I was hurt. You were hurt. We've all been fucking hurt and have acted out of straight emotion. And it might take years for some people. It might not. As long as you learn how to better navigate that hurt and to not, a leech wouldn't be the right animal. Maybe a skunk. Don't be a skunk. Don't spread all that negativity to everybody else. Don't spread all that information to everybody else. And if it, like, let's say it is a situation with a person and you two fell out. Are you going to be that person that goes up to a group of 80 people, tells everybody how you just fell out, and then now that person is sitting there and they have 80 people talking shit about them? Because you're still going to be a shitty person at the end of the day. I don't know. Sit there with yourself. Is it that deep? Sometimes it is that deep. Sometimes it is that deep, but sometimes it's not. Feel it. Feel it before you express it. That's what I want to say. And that was today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. And I don't know. I think I just felt very empowered to do this one because it's something I related to directly, but it's also something I actively see myself escaping out of. Like I can see my brain turning off this victim mode, right? And that's because I'm blessed to have an outlet like you guys where I can yap and talk. This is one of my outlets, but also internally, I've allowed myself to sit with my emotions now. When I am pissed the fuck off rather than, acting straight out, I feel it. I feel it when I'm hurt rather than telling everybody why I'm hurt and what happened so they can, understand. Because, yeah, it's shitty. Majority of the humans are going to agree with you. Hey, this was a shitty situation. But rather than needing that validation from other people, I get it for myself. Hey, I didn't deserve that. What can I do to make myself feel better? And I hope you took something away from this episode. And if you did, leave a 5-star rating and a review. And if you don't, I'm about to your house. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm making threats. Oh, and I meant to say this at the beginning of the episode. I got too quick in. We are back to weekly episodes. A little bit more structure around this bitch. Weekly, every Tuesday, it will be up. Out of love. Love you guys so much. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. Everything will be down below in the show notes, whether it be Instagram links or links for immigration resources. It will be down below. And I love you guys so much. And I hope you have a great week.